Hello, and welcome to part 2 of episode 75 of the Field of Geeks podcast. Enjoy. Earlier we were talking about, the 80s and the retro vibe that's kind of coming back. Knight Rider might be rebooted into a movie.
Yes.
And what brought that on was, I don't know if you saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but David Hasselhoff and director James Gunn, they got together and they made a song, and it's called Guardians Inferno, and it's supposed to be really 80s retro looking, the music video's actually got that style to it. Hasselhoff has a cameo in the movie. His experience with James Gunn, because James Gunn's able to really bring a lot of that back from the past, the look and the sound, like he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. So David Hasselhoff was, he was saying lately that he gave some ideas to James for Knight Rider, and he responded in a big way. And if it goes forward, he doesn't want it to be spoofed like the recent Baywatch and 21 Jump Street were. He feels those films lost the audience, the respect. He wants to respect the fans, basically, if they do a Knight Rider reboot movie. And of course, that they tried to do a continuation series of Knight Rider a few times. The last time was back in 2008. NBC tried to do it. They had Val Kilmer voice Kit, the car, which was a Mustang, I think. It was interesting, but I'm all for this. I think this is great. I think we've needed a Knight Rider movie for a long, long time. There was talk when Fast and Furious came out. He said then that he was kind of wanting, a Knight Rider movie sort of in that spirit. Hopefully he's changed his mind since then. I definitely welcome it. I think that was that needs to be brought back, in a big bad way. Just kind of harness what was great about the show and make a great movie. And I think it'd be great if James Gunn could direct it, because he's really good at that stuff, and at least if he writes it, maybe. But yeah, I definitely am a Knight Rider fan, and I think this would be pretty damn cool. What do you think?
I think they better keep that song, no matter what.
Yeah.
They got to keep the intro song. If they don't keep the intro song, they lost me. I'm just saying, out the gate. That was the first thought that came to mind. Like, the song makes the show. There's no other show I can really think of that does that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe DuckTales.
Yeah.
But
right.
like it's just one of those songs. And I love Knight Rider when I was younger. It was a fun series. It was exciting. I think they have a big canvas to play with that.
Yes, they do.
Because like the A-Team movie, they redid the A-Team movie back in the early 2000s, and that did pretty decent. They didn't go get ridiculous with it.
Yeah.
It was a solid film. Knight Rider, it's like you can make it modern day. You can make Kit fit today's time.
Yeah.
There's a way to make it almost, I don't want to say James Bond, but you can almost get semi-realistic. And this is one of those movies where you can play that thin line between this could really happen and but still make it fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could make a Knight Rider movie PG-13.
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because as a child, I was like, ooh, and now I have a talking car that does, does all these neat things, and it's, constantly communicating with me. I just think it's a great idea. Yeah. I think they revamped the series, too, on TV at one time. I think they rebooted the series at one time. They brought out a new kid. So
yeah.
I just think, like, they have so many options with Knight Rider. Like, I hope they explore everything they can. You don't really have to base it off of David's original character so much. You can make it you can base it around Kit.
Yeah.
Because Kit's the selling point anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the car. Everyone wants to see the car. So how do we make the car, work? And it might take something like what we were talking about with Tom Hardy with the Venom. You might need that particular actor to make it work.
Right.
But there's a trick to it because you don't want to risk making it like the Transporter or something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Or Fast and Furious. You have a lot of car movies that have established themselves. So that's what I'm saying. You don't know where to go with this. Mm-hmm. The only thing you're really throwing is this car talks to me. In the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it might have all these gadgets and stuff, but in short, that's what the separation is.
Right.
This car talks.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, how do you make it work? How do you make it something new when everyone has established strong car franchises in movies?
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious alone is hard to compete with. It's just hard. Transporter would be like the James Bond of it. What other franchise? They actually did a movie, Need for Speed. They have a new movie out where this kid, I think he wears headphones and he drives.
Oh, Baby Driver.
Robbers around or something.
Baby Driver.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I just saw the previews, but it's available now for me to watch. But I haven't watched it yet. But I'm saying, like, car movies, it's like jumping into a scene with big guys. I mean, like you're going against the top dogs.
Yeah.
So car franchise movies is hard to do. The only thing they have going for them is that Kid talks. Where do you go with it? Like, is it I'm stopping criminals? Well, yeah, the other franchises are doing that. Is Kid gonna drive from here, and then we're gonna see a car flying through space to the moon? I don't know. They gotta think of something. Like, what do you got? He's driving to the center of the Earth, the Earth core.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know what they could do that hasn't been done. Like, I mean, with technology, especially, back then that all that stuff was very impressive, and now we have a lot of stuff that can do that. So it's like, well, do you set it back in the 80s to get that look and feel of like?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Again, whoever listens to this podcast and you are a part of any of these studios, I will find you. If I hear any of our ideas expressed in film or music, I will find you. Just throwing that disclaimer out there. Continue, Josh. Sorry.
No, hey, that's great. I will put that down. Yeah, no, that's good. That's fine with me.
It should take place in the 80s. It definitely should. I like that idea.
Yeah, that way.
Or, a different era or something, because it would make more sense if it's an advanced vehicle for the 80s, and we have the technology now to make it more advanced.
Exactly.
For that time period, it would look cool for that setting. But trying to compete with what's going on right now, no.
I think it's just too difficult, and a lot of things that are happening now have really taken a lot of their approach from Knight Rider and shows like it, and movies like it. So it's like, Knight Rider came from the 80s. Maybe it should stay in the 80s. That way the tech's new. People were like, "Oh wow, this is cool." It'd cost more because it's set in the past, but people would love to see that stuff. It's I think it'd be really cool. And the message of the show was like, one man can make a difference. So he's kind of like in a way, a drifter, I guess. Like, you go town to town in this car. So it's like, well, you only have 2 hours. So what the hell is the story going to be? You can't just be going town to town. It's got to be something big, I think if they would set it in today's world, it'd have to be like a world problem, you know, versus like a town problem, city problem. You know, that would look too small compared to the Fast and Furious. You know, how they take on everybody. You know, I think it'd lose a lot of that magic. But yeah, I think they got to do it right. That's for sure. I think they can. You know, we haven't had a feature film of Knight Rider, so yeah, it might be best just to harness the past, you know, and you know, that time capsule, and you know, you could have a hell of a soundtrack with it. You have to get the right actor. You know, Hasselhoff.
Well, you got to get Hasselhoff has to do the whole soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, like, that'd be crazy.
It's going to sell like hotcakes in Germany, baby. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
it's going to be epic.
Probably. Yeah, probably
the Germans are going to freak their shit.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to love it.
There's so much they could take from that show. You know, there's so much they could do. You know, David Hasselhoff, given his age, he could play the new Miles or the Mr. Knight himself, you know, the dude that funded the whole project in the car. So there's lots they could do. So hopefully they do it just right. James Gunn's a big fan of the 80s, and he incorporates all those types of 80s feels in his movies, you know. Well, at least in the Guardians movies he does. So, you know, he could really harness that, and it'd be pretty damn cool. We'll see what happens. I hope it works out. I think that would be excellent, and had probably the best chance to be something great, you know. Definitely don't want it to be spoofed like they are doing with some of these movies now. 21 Jump Street was, you know, I like that movie. I like 22 Jump Street, but yeah, now everyone's like, oh, we got to make it laugh at itself. You know, like Baywatch just came out, and I think that was the first movie to really flop trying to do that, maybe, you know. But of course, Baywatch on its own.
Yeah, I have no interest in seeing it.
Yeah, I think it's just, Baywatch on its own, though, can't really be a movie. I mean, maybe it could, but yeah, I get why they went the comedic route. But from what I saw of the movie, it was like we were talking about earlier. It's like they just wanted to make a rated R movie, no matter what the material was. So, you know, they threw in curse words like they were teenagers, and, you know, just did some nasty, shit. And I think that's pretty much.
Sounds like they're trying too hard. And
no, yeah,
unnecessary.
No, it didn't sound like it at all. I wasn't impressed by the trailers, and still have to see it. I'll probably wait till, I don't know, Netflix, or maybe I'll try to rent it. I don't know, but I've heard from others that it's funny. But, you know, some people just like stupid humor, and if that's what that movie is, then, you know, I guess if I'm ready for that, I'll check it out. But
I was never into Baywatch like that anyways. I mean, my favorite Baywatch reference was Borat. He was chasing Pamela Anderson. That's the most affiliation I've had with Baywatch. Other than that, like.
Well, again, it was a product of the '90s. It's all about chicks running down the beach with their breasts bouncing. That's really why people tuned in. It wasn't like, this is a good show. The writing's just fantastic, you know.
Yeah, that was before Pornhub. I mean, you understand. So
that's the closest you're gonna get.
You didn't have a lot of options back then, so you know, Baywatch was like soft porn for television.
Yeah.
Like, it's the closest you could get. Like,
yeah,
I get it. I get why they were into it.
Yeah, but
it should have been like released by Sports Illustrated, and it should have been a short film of 10 minutes. And
yeah. That's what it was. I mean, that's all it really was. It wasn't really like a great show. It just was kind of just turn your mind off and watch some chicks, and, you know, watch some pretty people.
Exactly.
Yeah, watch some pretty people do some cool things, I guess. Yeah, I remember when they did the Baywatch.
Saving the dolphins and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what they did on the show. Like, I don't know what they did.
Even the dolphins had breasts. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, like it's.
Well, do you remember?
And it was like slow motion running too. It's just like everyone's running in slow motion.
Yeah, it just had all that going for it. It had Pamela Anderson, made her huge, you know, and the girls running down the beach.
Didn't Carmen Electra come off of that?
Yeah, she came after
Yeah.
Anderson left the show.
That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
ladies would establish themselves at that time. They would try to get on that type of show. They were like anything to do with models.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
I know,
was
yeah.
Flavor of Love before Flavor of Love. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it really was. That's why people tuned in, and yeah, it's like I guess I could see them making it would have to be a funny movie to laugh at itself, but it doesn't sound like they didn't write it the best they could.
Well, I know for fact they based this movie around Zac Efron and The Rock. So they based it around dudes.
Yeah.
You already made your first mistake. So
yeah.
No one wants to see you guys. I love The Rock. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him in my Baywatch. Okay,
yeah.
So
right,
like just to show me how all my shortcomings on. Well, I'm not hitting the gym hard enough, fellas. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Can you put her more on the screen? Thank you.
Yeah.
You
right.
know?
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
I'll have to see it. It might have had its moments, but I think in a way it was just trying to copy the 21 Jump Street. It's like, oh, we got to do that, and we'll just go in and to do that, and we're not going to really worry about the writing too much. We're just we're gonna curse, and people are gonna think that's funny. They'll just be laughing at us talking about sexual body parts and touching things, and yeah, there's actually some gory scenes in the trailer. It was just weird. I don't know. It's totally trying to be something. It's trying to be 21 Jump Street, and it just didn't work. So it was a pretty bad flop. But yeah, hopefully the Knight Rider they'll get that right. But yeah, I think that's a good way to that's a good direction to go. Is like avoid the satire of the show and just make a good movie. People will enjoy, especially the fans. There's another series coming out that you might like. I like it for sure. Cobra Kai. This is going to be a sequel series to The Karate Kid, the 1984 hit movie. And the series is going to be a half-hour long. They listed it as a comedy, so I don't know. Maybe it's going to laugh at itself a little bit. It's going to have 10 episodes, and it'll be on YouTube Red. So it will bring back Ralph Macchio and William Zabka. So those were the two dudes that went at it. Yep.
The blonde? Yeah.
Yep. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good for them. Because, I've seen Ralph Macchio at conventions and stuff. And I definitely seen William Zabka. He was in Hot Tub Time Machine. He had a funny part in that movie. And, yeah.
So he must have been in the second one.
No, he was in the first one. He was a dude in the bar with the mustache that was making him one of the dudes.
That was him?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, he was rocking a mustache.
Interesting.
Yeah, he might have been a little heavy.
He must have threw me off.
He was the classic '80s bad guy. He played the same character.
Yeah. He made me scared of blonde guys, man. When I was a kid.
Yeah, he was.
I was scared of blonde guys. I was like guys with blonde hair and a do-rag around their, soul.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
intimidating.
Yeah.
And they're BMX bikes kicking your ass and shit. That guy was. But the Cobra Kai thing is awesome. I thought it was going to be more like based around the Cobra Kai dojo.
Right.
Yeah, the most quoted thing from that movie is, "Yeah, get him a body bag." That his face is so intense. But he had a whole crew. But you can go online, you can watch on YouTube. They have this guy who redoes the whole movie, and he gives you the perspective that Daniel-san is the asshole.
Oh, I heard that.
It's awesome. And when you watch the whole thing, you're like, that dude's a dick. Like, came from out of town. The guy is having turmoil with his girlfriend, so he goes and hits on her anyway. Like people have arguments. Then he starts hitting on the guy's girl. He starts picking on the guy. He you remember you put, I think, the water hose or the tube while he was taking a piss, taking a leak in the restroom.
Yeah.
It's like everything Daniel San's doing, he's fucking with these guys the whole time.
Yeah.
And then has the nerve to jump into his tournament, and the guy's only simply defending himself, and he gets Mr. Miyagi to go into Cobra Kai's dojo so that he can go and train so they can't defend themselves, but Daniel-san can keep fucking with them. You know, it's like the whole thing. He throws an illegal kick. They just say all this crazy stuff. Like a kick's illegal. And you got to go watch it, Josh. I think you'll love it, because then it changes the whole way you view Karate Kid, the original one.
I bet.
And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And then afterwards, you're like, Daniel-san's a dick.
I wonder if they'll address any of that in the series. That'd be kind of cool if they did. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know why I was such a dick to you? Because you're a dick to me.
Yeah. You were the dick. You know what I'm saying? I was by myself. You hit on my girlfriend. You took my girlfriend. You came and started picking on me.
Right.
Because they were having a bonfire at the beach, you remember?
Yeah.
And then Daniel-san started that. I think he hit him with a ball or something, and then he jumped into their conversation. The guy goes into every little detail, and it's awesome.
I'll have to check that out.
And then when you watch it, you're like, oh, he's a dick.
That's awesome. Well,
he's not a good guy.
This show, the premise, I guess, is that Johnny is down on his luck, and he reopens the Cobra Kai dojo on his search for redemption, and this puts him at odds with Daniel, who, though successful, is trying to find a balance in his life without Mr. Miyagi. So, you know, Pat, God, what was his last name? Morita? Pat Morita? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
He died in 2005, so yeah, they definitely can't have Mr. Miyagi for this show, but yeah, maybe they kind of settle the past. I don't know, but I did see it was listed as a comedy, so that's very interesting. And I think it's being written by the guy who wrote Hot Tub Time Machine. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I think that'll be as close as we get to a Karate Kid 5 or whatever, because if you count the Hilary Swank one, the next Karate Kid, that's 4 there. So of course you got the remake of.
I never watched that one.
That was bad. Yeah, there's a remake, with Jaden Smith, which wasn't bad.
That was okay.
Yeah,
but it was a different kind of approach.
Yeah,
I get it.
Well, and
it was like him moving to Japan with his mother and stuff.
Right. Well, and it's really not from what I remember, Jaden Smith, he's not Danny Russo. He's a totally different character, and so is Jackie Chan. It's just kind of a similar story in a way. So I don't even know if you could really count that as a remake. I don't know if they ever played it that way, but yeah, that was.
They're just playing it as the Westerner going to the Eastern world,
right?
Basically,
which was a cool twist, and I didn't hate that movie. I thought it was pretty damn good, but yeah,
they made it more realistic.
Yeah,
like
of course
these kids just bullying them, and I get it. I was entertained by it.
Yeah.
It's not like an instant classic to me, but it was entertaining.
Well, and I like the method that Jackie Chan. It was a serious piece for him, really, because he was playing it straight, and the way he was training him was interesting. How he would tell him to hang his coat up, and he kept doing that, and then one day he got tired of it, and then he told him to mimic those movements without the coat, and you realize he secretly taught him to fight. Because he says, he's like, jack on, even though it sounds horrible. And he goes, and doesn't he go like, jack it off or something? It's like, what? Yeah.
Waxed on, waxed off.
Yeah, right. They're trying to do their own thing. But yeah, I think this show would be pretty damn cool. You'll have to buy YouTube Red. They might have a free trial. But yeah, I'm sure it'll pop up some way, somehow, somewhere else too. But yeah, good for them.
Let's pause for a second. So, it's going to star Ralph Macchio and what's the other guy's name?
William Zabka.
We'll just say William. Okay, so Ralph and Williams.
Yeah.
There's no Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
So there is a Karate Kid story with no Asian person.
Oh shit! That's right.
Can't make this up, kids. Can't make this up. This is
whoops.
That's awesome.
Oh boy.
Like I'm entertained.
Oh wow.
I'm entertained.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
I mean, maybe there's one they're training or something.
Yeah.
But there was like, there's no Asian guy or girl.
That's interesting. Well, maybe they'll have one of those tacky
maybe Daniel San married that chick. Maybe he married her
from 2.
Yeah, from part 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I definitely want to. I definitely want to forget part 3. That was terrible. Yeah.
Maybe he married Hilary Swank.
Well, no, that was 4, but 3 was bad. 3 was like 2 adult men pissed off at a 19-year-old, and they would go to all these lengths to screw that 19-year-old over. It's like, you guys have no life, and you should be in a mental institution for plotting, vengeance on a.
Oh, so there was 4.
That was 3. That was the Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai instructor dude. He's like an alcoholic now, and he has a buddy that comes to town and gets his spirits up by basically saying, "Oh, we're gonna screw over Danielson again." And yeah, these are 2 grown ass men going after, because it's still the first 3 Karate Kid movies are just like 3 years with the timeline.
They're pretty close together.
Yeah. So they're plotting for revenge on a very young adult kid. It's like, wow, what a shitty story. What the hell's wrong with these guys? It's awful. And, Ralph Macchio was playing a younger guy when he was probably the same age as those guys almost. This show hopefully will fix a lot of that. We'll see. But yeah, they should have stopped it too. That was a good way to stop it. And that was the high point. I enjoyed 2 a lot, and especially the soundtrack. And yeah, 3 was terrible. Don't watch 3 or 4. Anybody listening, just 1 and 2.
I've never seen them. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
I'm gonna confirm. I never watched them. I saw it and I was like, oh, there's a girl. Understand, I was younger then.
Oh right,
like,
right.
Oh, it's a girl. I don't want to see it. Why?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? Like.
Yeah, it was just.
Now I thought they were gonna revamp the way you expressed it. I thought they were gonna revamp the continuation of the original series until you said comedy, and I thought it was going to be based around Cobra Kai and like world of Cobra Kai. Because Cobra Kai has its own clothing line.
Oh, really?
I've seen it advertised on Facebook and things like that. Yeah, it's this whole thing. It's just like what's that old movie? The Last Dragon. So you got The Last Dragon, and they have show enough clothes.
Yeah,
the character show enough, and so I thought it was going to be something like that, like Cobra Kai, and like why did they believe in being hard and being strong and
right, and, yeah,
that kind of thing, and actually bring you some kind of compassion towards Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
and that's what I thought we were going to go with it, but you said comedy, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
They're not taking it serious, so why should I? It's not that big of a deal.
Well, fun. Yeah, this show should be pretty damn cool. So who knows? Maybe we'll see how funny it is, I could see some serious moments maybe, hopefully Daniel is not such a dick as you said from the that guy's point. But yeah, I think hey, good for them. Those guys are.
You're gonna believe me after you see that video.
I'm pretty sure I will. Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, that's great for them. Those 2 actors to get to revisit characters that it was like 30 years ago. So that'd be cool. Maybe they'll have cameos from other actors from those movies too. Who knows? But. Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe Daniel's living in Mr. Miyagi's house. That'd be pretty badass, I think. He's still building that thing in the back.
You still have that old car?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. Probably. He restored it, maybe. That'd be pretty badass.
Well, yeah, it was already. Yeah, like took all Mr. Miyagi's cars and stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I could see them. Depends on the budget of the show too, how much they can do. If it's just going to be a simple on the street show, like they got competing dojos.
It's giving me a Fuller House feel, just like they revamped Full House.
Yeah.
Because you're saying comedy.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's going to be like Fuller House. It's like the same cast, but they're all like adults now. And I refuse to watch that. There's no point to watching that either. But it's just no point.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to bring Family Matters back, and Steve Urkel's an adult, and did I do that type thing?
They ran that show got ran into the ground though. That was pretty much Urkel's show. It was getting ridiculous. He was cloning himself and then going to space and
Stefan.
Just bad.
They piled on the cheese.
Oh yeah, because he made that show unfortunately because it was supposed to be about Family Matters. And I think
it got canceled, or it was about on the verge of getting canceled, and they started and exploring the Urkel character because everyone liked him. Yeah, but I think they were trying to be like another Cosby type show.
Yeah.
At first,
Yep. Yep.
They just got rid of a daughter.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
That chick ended up becoming like a internet porn star or something.
Yeah, she did. Yep.
But they just got rid of her. She just disappeared.
Yeah.
They never mentioned her. They didn't say she was in, like boarding school or nothing. They just said she didn't die.
They didn't care.
We just left the kid on the corner somewhere. Like they didn't say anything. She's just gone.
Yeah, the classic telling is she just went up the stairs and never came back down.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
She was just gone. Like they didn't say anything about her.
Yeah.
They could have had a funeral. They could have did something, but she was just gone.
Wow.
And and then here comes Urkel, who becomes Stefan, and now he's Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, it's like
he even had a dance. He had a Steve Urkel dance.
Yep. And there's a doll, a Steve Urkel doll. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that yeah.
I missed that. I must have missed that one.
Well, if you ever watch Key and Peele, they do a skit about Family Matters. I think they have the actor plays Carl come to the producers, and I forgot how it went down, but he's basically complaining about Urkel being the center of attention, and Urkel shows up, and he's like dead serious, and he's like life threatening and all that stuff, and it's pretty dark, but it's funny. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you should check that out too. But yeah, that's it'll be interesting.
I got a lot of things to watch today.
I know, right?
Yeah, I got a day off. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Definitely.
I'm on my couch.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good day.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious. Like little things like that. I just like look back at, and I'm just like, they just deleted her. They just stopped talking about it. Yeah. Ignore it and it'll go away.
And everybody forgot.
Ignore it and it'll go away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's exactly what they did with her. Just ignore her and she'll just go away.
Right.
Like, and that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
They could have killed her. Like, oh, our baby got in a car accident.
Yeah, that would have been dark.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But it would.
No, I get it.
Would be something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things that the internet later found out, and was like, hey, everybody, remember? There's another daughter. They're all like, oh my God, what happened? Yeah, maybe that would be
Winslow.
Yeah.
Laura. I don't remember her name.
I don't either. She popped up in a few things, but yeah, nobody really.
She lasted like a season and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Because that first season or something like that, they were doing fine. And then I think the second season, they were starting to lose a little steam. And then someone was like, that
Yeah.
nerd kid, he got something there.
Let's just exploit the shit out of him.
Pretty much. We're going to give him a dance. We're going to make him clone himself. We're going to do all types of stuff with him.
Well, a lot of people forget.
I think that they just got out of control.
Yeah.
And they weren't expecting it.
A lot of people forget, though, that the Full House and Family Matters, they're in the same universe. Urkel actually was on a Full House episode. He was teaching Stephanie how to play the accordion, I think it was. And but what's interesting about that is Family Matters is set in Chicago, I think, and Full House is.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So I don't know what I don't know what the hell happened there.
Full House is in San Francisco, isn't it?
Yep. I think
I was like, I thought they were Detroit or something like that. I didn't think they were like
I think the deal was I think Urkel was visiting San Francisco, and somehow he knew Stephanie, I guess. And yeah, it was just like one episode, and it was really quick, I think. But they mimicked, they had to have the same creators, because Family Matters had the sappy endings just like Full House did, about the revelations, and then the shitty music they play over it. It's just like, I understand now. And then that was the end of the show. And yeah, but yeah, they definitely went a whole other direction with Urkel. That's for sure. But,
they just rode that gravy train all out, bro.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's why
they rode that out.
That's just why you can't. I don't think we need to have it come back, because it can't be that way anymore. People just be like, "What the hell is this?"
They have to bring it as a new comedy. Like it can't even be called Family Matters. It would have to be like based around Urkel, and Urkel becomes a gangster. Like he's a cocaine dealer or something now, or I don't know. Like he shoots people, and he's like, "Did I do that?" You know what I'm saying? And like, again, any major studio, I'm looking for you. If you come out with an Urkel gangster show, you owe us something. Anyways, you just do.
That'd be pretty badass. Carl could come out of retirement, and he's like hunting Steve, trying to bring him down, and Eddie's like a rookie cop or detective, whatever, and he's like, "Dad, you need to just stay home and watch TV or something." I don't know. They could, that'd be kind of, if they rebooted it as a dark show, that'd be kind of cool. I think people would be like, "What the hell is this?"
Make Urkel gangster or something. Make him like Tony Montana or something.
Oh my god!
And just see what happens.
He just clones.
And he over embellishes, like, "Did I do that?" And he's it's the phrase he says right before he kills you or something. Like, and it's my brain goes to all these weird places,
Yeah, no, I get
it. I'd tune in. I'd watch it.
Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, he did clone himself eventually, and Stefan actually exists in the world. He's a model somewhere, so they're separate now. Last I knew, which I don't know.
Oh, he separated the two entities out of his brain.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that. I got away from it after a while.
It's like, what the hell?
Once I saw the Urkel dance, I gave up.
Yeah. Well,
I threw in my cards.
That was the right thing to do. I kept going, unfortunately, and ouch! It was really bad.
Once I saw the dance, I was just like, "Do the Urkel, do the Urkel," and I was like,
It's like, I'm just gonna hit off.
I think I'm gonna go back to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start watching WrestleMania again.
Yeah.
And
right.
At least I know they know they're full of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
This year, I think they really do believe, like, this is good, wholesome TV that people should be feeding their brains.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think so too.
Like,
we'll see what happens there.
That dance killed it for me.
Yeah, that was terrible. There was a new trailer that dropped recently. I don't know if you caught it at all, but it's a Death Wish remake that stars Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Yes. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was Death Wish.
That came out of nowhere. I didn't even know they were making a reboot. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, Bruce Willis. Okay, he actually looks like he's trying in this movie because he's kind of been phoning it in my opinion, for a few years now. Looks pretty badass. It's directed by Eli Roth, who he does like horror movies. He was the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards. That guy who would kill the Germans with his bat. Yeah, he's a director.
With the bat.
And, yeah, he directed this movie, and from what I think it's a remake. Well, I don't know if it's a direct remake of the Charles Bronson 1974 film Death Wish. The premise is Paul Kersey, I think that's his name. He snaps when intruders break into his home, murder his wife, and rape his daughter. Frustrated by the police, he becomes a vigilante, gunning down any criminal that crosses his path. So he's kind of like Punisher, basically. I mean, this story's been told before, but that's pretty much what he is.
Well, when I saw the trailer, that's what I thought it was.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah, for sure. There's no justice. So
I really did. I thought it was to a T. I thought it was like the new Punisher.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see Bruce Willis's face out the gate. I think they had him in a hoodie.
Oh, right. Yep. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And so, is this a new Punisher? And then
nope.
I saw Bruce Willis. Like, Bruce Willis going to play it? Okay. Die Hard meets Punisher. It should be interesting.
Yeah, right.
And then, but no, the trailer was actually pretty entertaining. It got me excited.
Yeah.
It got me excited to see it.
Yeah.
Is this based off what the old Charles Bronson?
Yeah.
Deal? Oh yeah, Death Wish. Yep.
It could be really good. I hope it's good. They made so many of those movies back in the day,
Oh yeah, my dad used to be into those.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the original Death Wish in a while. Do you remember which actor played the lead intruder in that film?
No.
Jeff Goldblum.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like rocking some...
that guy's like a giant, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's like rocking sideburns and long hair. He's the lead intruder guy in that movie. I remember seeing that. I was like, holy shit, that's Jeff Goldblum. Isn't that crazy?
Jeff Goldblum. I actually saw Jeff Goldblum in person before.
Yeah, he's freakish tall, right?
Like, it was when I first moved to Los Angeles, and then me and my girlfriend at the time went to a restaurant, and it was like, I don't know if it was Chinese food or something like that. And we're sitting there, and I'm talking to her, and blah, blah, blah. She's like, I think that guy's Jeff Goldblum. And I go, I don't know. Whatever. Like, no, it really is him. And I'm like, well, what are we going to do? We're going to go over there and eat off his plate? What do you want us to do?
That'd be a hell of a story.
Yeah. And so, actually, I would be more entertained by that.
Yeah.
It is Jeff Goldblum. He's labeled as freak number one. He has no name. The character has no name. It's just freak number one.
Yep.
I'm sold. I'm into it. There's a freak number two, Christopher Logan. So there's two freaks.
Oh, right. Freak one and freak two. Should have t-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So she says it, but I just like, stop. Just leave it alone. Let's just eat. So we're eating. And then finally he gets up from his table and walks away. And then he walks out. And she's like, see? That was Jeff Goldblum. I was like, yeah, you're right. Shit, he's tall. Like, I mean, he's something stupid like 6'7".
Wow.
Like, he seems very tall. I wouldn't know how tall he is anyways, but.
Right. Oh yeah, he's up there. He's huge.
I'm looking it up right now. But yeah, like, the dude's just a giant. Really? That's it? He's only 6'4". Odd thing, Gina Davis is 6 foot. It just tells me other people's stuff.
No, they dated too.
Oh, I know they were in The Fly together.
Yeah, I think they dated after that movie for a little bit.
What was that movie that she did with Samuel Jackson, and she was like the spy, the sleeper spy?
Oh, the Long Kiss Goodnight.
Like Long Kiss Goodnight. Yeah.
That was a good one.
And he made a reference to her being so tall. He made something that was like a joke or something. Some super tall bitch comes into my house or something. I don't know what that was. I'm not going there. But it was...
That's a classic.
It's an old movie, so I remember that movie.
Yeah, but it's funny how you'll see old movies and you'll see these actors that are big now, and you're just like, oh my god, that's that guy or that that girl, and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you find out, it was like maybe their first movie, they just popped up, and it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's trippy. What's his name? Morgan Freeman. He started at like 38 years old, 37 years old. And in the 70s, he played a pimp. And that was like his first movie. And I'm like, Morgan Freeman is still in like every other movie. It's certain people that are in everybody's movie. It's either Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Or, what's that guy's name? It'll come to me in a moment. But Morgan Freeman's 79 years old or something like that. Or 81, somewhere in between that.
Yeah, he's old guy, yeah. He was on the Electric Company, TV show back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing him on there.
I
never really got into that show personally, but yeah, I remember seeing him on there.
I think his first movie he hit it big was Mean Streets, and I think that starred Christopher Reeve as a newspaper reporter, and it was supposed to be like a... like a big movie for Christopher Reeve, but Morgan Freeman ended up being the big star of the movie. People really focused on him. His character was he played a pimp in that, and that was that was his big break. Yeah, it was his big break, and then he had Drive Miss Daisy, Lean on Me, Glory, Shawshank. I'm not, these aren't in the correct order, but yeah. Yeah, he kind of... Robin Hood. There's actually an interview on the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves DVD I have, and he's talking about how, how long it took him to hit it big, He was like into his 40s or so, before he got it big, and so he didn't have like a early start or anything.
Wild, man.
I know, right?
So these people have been doing it for so long, and... you just now recognize them. And it seems like, to the kids, they're just like, oh, that guy's been around. I might be like, that guy's brand new or something.
Yeah.
Or newer on the scene. But,
right.
Yeah, some of these people have been around for decades.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
Morgan Freeman's been around for decades. It's such a trip, man.
Oh, it is.
To see, like, certain actors, but I love it that he's still going strong. I would like to see him go into his 90s doing it,
Oh yeah, he could.
And so on and so on. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think he's slowing down, so that's for sure.
No, he seems like he takes care of himself, and he's doing something right.
Yeah,
whatever it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've seen many movies this summer or not, but I recently saw Dunkirk. I don't know if you've heard of that movie.
I honestly have not heard of it. Tell me a little bit about it, please.
It's directed by Christopher Nolan, who, he did the Dark Knight movies, the Batman movies, and Interstellar.
Yeah, he's a good director.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he really like Inception, and this movie's based off the... I really didn't know about this until the movie came out, unfortunately. But in 1940, Germany, they advanced into France, and they trapped the Allied troops on the beaches of Dunkirk. And under air and ground cover from the British and French forces, troops were evacuated from the beach using every serviceable naval and civilian vessel that they could find. And at the end of this heroic mission, 330,000 French, British, Belgian, and Dutch soldiers were safely evacuated. So this movie is basically just about that, and it's good. It's kind of surprising for Nolan to do a history piece, but actually, it's not entirely a history piece. He actually has his own way of telling the story still in it. It's kind of confusing at first, and I'm sure if I see it again, I'll definitely pick up on more things. But there's 3 different stories being told within the events. They're all interwoven together, so it's kind of confusing. Like you'll see, for instance, you'll see like an AWOL, not an AWOL soldier, but a soldier who's like lost it. You know, he went through some shit and he's just lost it. And then you see a scene where he's together, he's fine, and that's before, you know, he just went nuts or whatever, shell shock. So it's kind of confusing in that way. It's not like there's different points of views of the whole event through these 3 storylines. One storyline focuses on the sea itself. One of these civilian vessels, this man and his son's friend, they're on their way to, you know, help pick up soldiers. You have that story, and there's also the Air Force story, which Tom Hardy's a part of that. He's one of the fighter pilots. So you have that, and then you also have people on the beach, like the higher ups in command, trying to strategize how to get these men off the beaches, because, you know, they were there for quite some time. It's interesting. It's not told in order. It's all, like I said, it's all interwoven. So, but it's a great movie, and I know a lot of it was filmed in IMAX, especially the aerial battles, which I gotta say, I've seen a ton of movies in my lifetime. These aerial battles were incredible. They really made you feel like you were in it. And like you were in it? Yeah, and it didn't make it slick or anything. Like, them trying to target the enemy plane was difficult, and it was tough, and, you know, they could maneuver, but, you know, it wasn't all these slick maneuvers like you see a lot in films. Of course, these were before jet engines, you know, these are propeller planes, but Nolan actually used real planes from that time period to film these scenes, so they weren't CG. He's not a big CGI guy. In fact, there's a scene on the beach where there's a lot of soldiers. I guess a lot of those soldiers are cardboard cutouts that they put in there, so they're not even CG'd people. It's just I can dig that. Yeah, he does a lot of that creativity. Yes, exactly. He does a lot of trickery. He keeps it old school. He likes film too. He doesn't like digital. Yeah, he's kind of like Quentin Tarantino in that way. You know, they really respect practical effects. You know, I'm sure Tarantino uses some CG, but Nolan does too. But he tries to stay away from the CG. He loves IMAX, and I almost want to see Dunkirk, because I'm not a big IMAX dome guy. We have the IMAX dome theater here, you know, downtown. It's all right, but seeing a full-length movie is kind of difficult because it's not really the best experience. Only the scenes shot in IMAX are excellent for seeing it there. And I'd love to see these aerial battles on IMAX because they were fantastic. When I saw Avatar for the first time, I saw it in IMAX. Yeah. So it really did pop out the screen like that. Right, yeah. And yeah, for sure. It has its place. I actually think someone like Christopher Nolan and his directing style, being a minimalist, if we could say that, I would say he's kind of a minimalist. Yeah, I agree. And I like that. Being that way, I think it's beautiful because CGI, I guess from a director's point of view, could almost be like a crutch. Yeah. You know, like, I'm codependent on this thing. It's going to fill in the blanks. Whereas he's saying, okay, I know I have that option, but I want to find out other ways to do it. Mm-hmm. Let me see how else I can pull it off. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And to bring that to modern time is awesome. Like, I love that kind of thing when you're saying, like, he's doing it with cutout board pictures of people. Yeah. I like that he's using film. I like that, I love, like, the look of, like, 8mm film, personally. Yeah, right. Things like that. To me, that creates its own grit in itself. Yeah. You know, I would edit digitally, obviously. Yeah, right. Outside of that,
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, now I'm more stoked to check it out. The visual alone sounds great.
It's good. I think if you go into it knowing that it's not like a start to finish story, I mean, it is in a way with the overall event itself, but it's there's like I think there's 3 different stories that are told, and they're just mixed in with each other. So you'll be on the seas in one scene, and you might see the same character that you're going to see in this other scene that they're on the beach. It's kind of confusing to take in at first, but the aerial battle is fantastic. He doesn't really stick so close to telling a historical event. I mean, I think there's dates maybe, but he's not really out to do a historical film. He's, it's kind of like, I think he got inspired from Saving Private Ryan. You make up characters within, this event, and you don't have to stick to so close to real characters, like, oh, we got to do this correct,
Right.
So they have all that breathing room. They can make things up, but it is a good movie. I'd love to see it again. And I think seeing it again would help me understand it more. I did watch a lot of YouTube videos to kind of, answer some questions, and I understood after that. And I got to also see his craftsmanship in those videos, what he would do, to like the cardboard cutouts, the actual World War II planes he used. I mean, he filmed these in the sky, and it was just fantastic. And yeah, I'm telling you, it's like the best aerial battles I've ever seen, because it's like,
I'm gonna check it out.
oh, it's awesome. Because they showed like Tom Hardy's awesome. I mean, we already established this, but he's great in this movie. I mean, he doesn't have a lot to do. I mean, he's up in the air the whole time. It's kind of a spoiler, but anyway, he's just a badass pilot in this movie, and you feel like you're in the plane with them. Like, it's rocking, and because it's old and stuff, it's from its times, and you just feel like you're in the plane. You feel like, holy shit, we're up in the air. And whenever they have to maneuver, it's a big deal. It's not like, hey, we'll just go over here. Like, they really have to maneuver the plane, and it's shaking, a little bit, and it's just really cool, and it's a good movie. It's a good movie. If you're like a
what was the name of that movie with Brad Pitt about the tank?
Fury.
Fury.
Yes.
So was that's kind of like, when that's similar, like there weren't actual soldiers they were portraying.
Yeah.
The director made it based around like just they gave them names and gave them characters and some of that.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not rated R. It does. I mean, there's some darkness in it, but it doesn't go into a lot of those, like what Fury did, let's say. But it does have the kind of same look as Fury. Private Ryan, Nolan, how he makes things look usually. Michael Caine actually makes an appearance. Well, his voice makes an appearance. That's kind of an ongoing thing. He's used Michael Caine in like most of his movies. So a lot of people are like, hey, where is he? He's actually the instructor for the pilots. He's, reminding them as they go into battle, like, hey, pay attention to your fuel, all this stuff. Tom Hardy's just such a badass in this movie. Like, his gauge gets shot out, so he has to take chalk and write on the dash, what his fuel count is. Like, he has to guesstimate from his other, his other buddy in the skies. It's badass, and I'm sure they did that back in the day. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, just talking about it again makes me want to see it. But yeah, it's worth checking out. If you're a huge historian, you're probably not going to be impressed, because it doesn't really go into the details of evacuations and all the procedures, but it is very interesting.
I'm not a huge historian, so yeah, I want to be entertained.
No, it's just good. Yeah,
not saying that a history lesson couldn't be entertaining.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people that, like, entertainment factor is my number one.
Right.
Objective in most cases.
No, and it's good. Yeah. It's nice and short. It's like the shortest film he's done. It's an hour, might be 90 minutes. 90 minutes, I think, is the runtime. If it's not, it's close to that. But it's just nice, short, and sweet. You're in the shit for the movie. Like, you're like, holy crap! I'm with the soldiers on the beach. They're trying to hide out. I'm in the air with the guys. I'm at sea with this family. It's really cool. So yeah, definitely go check it out. Nolan did it again, so it's fantastic.
He's the man. Didn't he say something about trying to get away from what's it called? Getting away from like comic book movies and whatnot?
Yeah, he had his run with Batman, and he was never going to go the route of what they're doing now with DC and Marvel. He wanted to tell his own story, and honestly, I think I've seen.
He might have made the greatest. He might have made the best comic book movie ever, by the way. But that's my opinion.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people model, especially DC. They're still modeling their movies after that Dark Knight movie, which is great. The only
second installment, yeah.
The only tarnish.
But then again, it's like I think they're trying to find a new gem. They're trying to find another Heath Ledger.
I
too.
know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's it's the only tarnish I have with Nolan. Like anything I really didn't like a lot was Dark Knight Rises. Other than that, I think he's done everything fantastic.
You weren't a fan of it?
I liked it, but it just, I don't know. I had a lot of issues with it. Just because as a Batman fan, I guess, like, I don't see why Batman took 8 years off over a girl when he lost his parents, and that's why he started fighting, and just a lot of other little things. I love the way it was shot. There's some of it in there about, just wasn't, I guess, realistic to me, just little quips, but I think if I wasn't such a Batman fan, I'd be all right. But I didn't hate the movie. I definitely own the trilogy, but I don't think it went out on top as maybe it could have. I was glad that he directed it, because usually, when the director who starts everything leaves, it goes to shit. And I think there was.
What did you think of Bane?
I loved Bane. Like, that's the thing. There's a lot of things about it I liked.
He killed it.
I loved Bane. Yeah. No. Yeah. I totally.
But isn't Bane supposed to be Hispanic?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Venom.
I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I dig it, because the voice, like, I don't know what accent that is, but it was genius.
Yeah.
But, I was like, isn't Bane supposed to be Hispanic?
Yeah.
But,
well, that's the thing. Nolan didn't really care about the comics, I don't think, too much. I think Batman Begins was his closest take on the comics, but after that, he kind of just did his own thing, I mean, I know he did the Joker and Two-Face, but he kind of did those guys on his own terms. They were a little different. Maybe the Joker was.
Well, he made the best Joker.
Yeah. Well, gosh, Heath Ledger. There's a great documentary out there on his life, and I think it shows a lot of notes he took crafting the Joker. Like, he really, he was really he was into it, man. And
committed.
Yeah, he was very committed.
Well, I mean, some will still. I have some friends that still debate that Jack is the best. And that's fine. Jack laid down the groundwork for it, but it's like the interpretation of Joker.
Right.
I've seen a picture, and they had the four Jokers on screen.
Yeah.
And it has Romero, and it says LSD, and then it has Jack, and it says cocaine, and then it has Heath, and it says heroin, and then it has Leto, and it says meth. So
that's accurate.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah,
that actually makes sense. And when you think about it that way, there are all those different. And to me, all on-screen Jokers are awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not done with Leto.
No, I'm not either.
I have not made my decision on Leto. He's kind of like the gangster Joker. He's going into the gangster. Like, each of them went into a different aspect of the Joker. Romero, clearly the comedy of the Joker.
Right, because that was the 60s. It was the show. It had to be that way. But I think you always, even though comparing to the past, like, you could say the new Star Wars movies to the prequels, like, prequels were awful or weren't as good, but you needed those prequels to get to where you're at. So like you needed Romero to get to Nicholson and Nicholson to get to Ledger. You know, you needed those transitions versus like a huge turn.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's like you needed those building blocks. And yeah, I remember when they first cast Ledger, I was like, oh, why did they do that? I just didn't see this heartthrob guy being the Joker. And you know, I was like, Nicholson was great. So it's like, how could you top that? And he just made it his own. And Leto the same way, you know, Leto, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like the tattoos, but it's like, well, current day, a lot of people have tattoos, kind of is in, you know, the popularity, the teeth, a lot of people are like.
The only thing that didn't make sense about Leto is, what's Common's character? That whole scene that made no sense to me.
Yeah.
He just made a deal with the guy. Now, I understand the Joker's off the handle. He does wild, crazy shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of it doesn't make sense. I get it. But that was like, what the?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to offer up your girl. And he just said, yeah, she's nice looking.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
Yeah, he didn't
say, he's like, I don't want no beef. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
He's like, no, it's fine. And then they kill him for that?
Yeah, well, that movie, yeah, you talk about LSD. I think that movie was definitely on that product. And from what I heard, the original shot of that scene was, I don't know how true this is, but it was like Harley Quinn and Joker were going at it back and forth over this whole, like, you know, Common didn't want anything to do with her. Like, you know, he was like, that's your girl, Jay, or whatever. And like, they basically pushed him to kill himself because he was so, like, stressed out about what he was seeing. Like, he just killed himself to take himself out of the equation. So I don't know how true that was, but yeah, that was, yeah, that movie was, I don't know. It's an entertaining mess, I think, and I don't hate it. I think the extended cut's much better, but Leto, you know, about everyone, you know, like didn't like his look or whatever. I love the hair. It went for the full green hair, slicked back, and he's kind of like a beefed up Joker, you know. He could like kick some ass. The teeth, a lot of people were like, I don't like the teeth. And honestly, I didn't like the teeth at first until I heard a possible backstory to him getting those teeth was that Batman knocked all his teeth out. And I thought that's pretty cool. You know, he just couldn't afford to get the white fillings or whatever, the caps. So that's kind of a cool backstory. I don't know how true it's going to be with the movies, but yeah.
It's like this for me with Leto.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think he's got such massive shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to critique the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Like, they want another Heath Ledger. Trust me. Like, as a whole, everyone's looking for that extension of what he was, but they want another Joker like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And you can't do it, okay? There's only one Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's okay to have, you know, Kobe Bryant. But even Kobe Bryant might be a little too high. It's okay if you play like any other professional. They're all good.
Right.
But he's just got too big a on top of that, Jack. Now, if he was the follow-up to Jack, it would have been revolutionary.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's just wrong era. If he was the follow-up to Jack, it'd be like, oh, my God, have you seen Jared Leto as the Joker?
Yeah.
And then Heath Ledger comes after him. You'd be like, whoa, it's the order.
Yeah.
Believe me, I think it's the order.
Right.
And if Leto came right after Jack, you'd be like, oh, my goodness. They gave Joker, like, he's a gangster, and he's like, I never thought about him that way.
Right.
Because you're seeing him as Jack prior to and Romero. And even the cartoon series.
Right.
Because, I mean, to me, the best Joker technically between Ledger and Mark Hamill for me.
Oh,
but,
right.
Yeah. I'm saying if we're getting technical.
Yeah,
Mark Hamill has been the voice of the Joker for eons, and most people don't necessarily know that. But Mark Hamill might be, I mean, and the Killing Joke and everything like that, they had to bring him back in the original voice of Batman. He might be the best. What's that guy's name? I don't remember, but I know you're a Batman fan.
Which guy?
What's the guy from the series? The voice from the series of Batman.
Kevin Conroy?
Yeah.
Yep.
They brought those two back for the Killing Joke.
Yep.
Like his, I would say Mark Hamill's the best. But back to it, I just think Leto is just wrong era. That's all.
Yeah.
I just think if he had came out before Ledger, it would have been like, okay. You probably would have still said Ledger was the best, but you would like Leto more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, he's got such big shoes to fill. You're just like, well, he doesn't make me feel like Heath did.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, for sure. I think he needs to be given more of a chance. You know, from what I heard, he filmed a shit ton for that movie. Like, they filmed so much, like, he could have had his own movie out of it, and they didn't. They cut it all, and that pissed him off. You know, because he's an Oscar-winning actor. He really went into the character. He cut his hair off, his beard, and his eyebrows even. And, you know, he was very committed to it. Like, even behind the scenes, he was doing some weird shit. I mean, I think that needs to stop. But other than that, I think he did a pretty good job. They should have made him the villain in Suicide Squad. I think that was a big mistake. The Enchantress was kind of weak, I think. You know, the extended cut shows more of the Joker. There's actually a deleted scene with him and Harley before he takes her to the chemical plant and she throws herself in, which is pretty cool. So the extended cut definitely helps the movie look better, you know, feel better, whatever. But yeah, I don't think we're done yet. We need to see him go toe to toe with Affleck. I think that'd be pretty cool.
What do you think of Affleck as Batman?
I dig him. I think he's great. I'm really I love his build. You know, he looks like he could kick the shit out of you. I mean, Bale did, but if you put Bale side by side with him with Ben's Batman, it's like, oh my gosh, there's no question. Yeah, I think a lot of people just can't get over it's Ben Affleck. I think they just got a lot of from his past. And
I think this is his best role.
Yeah,
and I think he's an excellent Batman.
I do too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and I would say him and Chris are probably the. Right now, I got them kind of eye to eye. Chris is just. He's got a little more material than Ben.
Yeah.
So I'm edging him out just a little. But, like, if anything, Affleck was the best part of Batman vs. Superman for me.
Oh, for sure. Batman, you know? Yeah. Batman was definitely the best part. That, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Finally,
our non-smiling Superman needed...
Yeah. Right.
That kind of got it. Remember Martha.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That eats me alive.
It's easily the best. I think it's easily the best suit on screen. I've always wanted to see the gray suit. Yeah, I was tired of the all black. You know, I like the Keaton suit a lot, but I really dig this new suit, and I love the fat bat. I just think it's pretty badass. I still miss the targeted symbol, you know, with the yellow behind it, but it makes sense for him not to have it. But yeah, I dig this whole outfit he's got, and the material, and even Superman's costume. Like, I think they're really nailing it with these, you know, these costumes, making them really.
Well, one thing I do like about Ben Affleck's suit is there's that big fight scene he has, I think, inside of the warehouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's beating up a guy, and a guy comes up right behind him and shoots him like 3 times in the head.
Yeah.
And he just turns around and beats the crap out of that guy.
Yeah.
And it's something that simple that works for me.
Yeah.
Like, the bullets just, foiled off. And I was just like, oh, that makes sense. Whereas, Christian Bale's Batman, I couldn't see him doing that. Plus, I remember he had a problem with his helmet at one time.
Yeah.
Like it would crack open or something, and he asked Alfred to make a better version of it.
Yeah.
And they also had a stronger Alfred with Ben Affleck. He's a little bit younger-ish.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons is awesome as Alfred. I think he's, I like Michael Caine.
But he makes all the toys.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are bringing in Lucius for this one.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's interesting because Jeremy. Well, because they've retooled Alfred over the years. Like he's not just a butler anymore. He doesn't really wear the tuxedo all the time. He's kind of a badass. Like some comics have Alfred training young Bruce after his parents die. Like Alfred actually was like he was like a British agent or something. Like he can kick ass. He can kick some ass. Jeremy Irons Alfred, he looks like a tailor. Like he's kind of like halfway dressed up, but he's working on stuff. He's tinkering with things. He's really committing a lot to the whole the project.
This Batman might work. I don't know if they're going to keep Leto, if he's still if he's unhappy with them. I heard that he still wants to work with them because of all the material. Like I already know what you were saying about he did all this filming, and I think they gave him 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
and he probably did about an hour and a half worth of filming.
Yeah,
but I think this new the Affleck Batman, that could work very well. I like him as it.
Yeah,
I like what they did with the voice thing, because that's the one thing that Kristen Bell gets the most with.
I didn't like that cigarette voice. That was just terrible.
Yeah, they gave him almost like a vocoder over his voice,
right? For
the Affleck one. That makes sense. Like that'd be hard to read,
right?
Like you wouldn't be like, oh, you sound just like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he has a voice modulator, and the show Arrow uses the same thing. He has a voice modulator, so yeah, like how Batman was able to get shot in the head. Like they show earlier in the film when Alfred's tinkering with the modulator, there's actually a sub piece that goes under the cowl. It's like metallic. It's metal. He's got like a exoskeleton between him and the suit itself. So, it's instead of like the suit looking like it's really armored up, it looks more like it's actually him, but he does have like a layer underneath it of protection. So he can get shot in the head like he did, because it's metal behind there. And that's from like Neil Adams. He put that into Batman's character back in the 80s maybe, but yeah, it was like underneath his cowl he's got protection, and that's how he can take bullets. It's but it's not so bulky. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he's Neil Adams came up with that, and for a brief moment you see it's when Alfred's looking at, there's like this cowl, this metallic cowl, and that's where the modulator is, and it's got some lenses on it. Yeah, so it's pretty cool how they can do that. But yeah, that's how he was able to take all that. But yeah, he definitely got stabbed. That was intense. But yeah, you don't want to mess around with this Batman. He's badass. That was a great fighting scene, and I liked how you could see, especially as a fighter, or trained fighter, you can appreciate when you actually can see the fight. I think Nolan used a lot of quick cuts, so you didn't really get to see the punches. You just kind of got to see the aftermath or whatever. But yeah, that Affleck scene in the warehouse, that was like dead on. Like he was kicking some
he's
shit.
Using you're seeing him use what's the item that Batman uses to swing from things?
Oh, the grappling gun.
Yeah, so he uses a grappling gun. He grabs a box and he rolls it at someone.
Yeah.
They make him seem more mystical.
Yeah.
Which I dig.
Yeah.
Like when that cop is looking through the building.
Oh, right.
And
right.
he finally sees Batman. He sees his cape, and he looks like an actual bat running out of the room. Like
yeah.
And yeah, it was CGI, but it worked.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Like they made him more mystical.
Yeah, I like that.
Where everyone else they did it. Yeah. So I think they're really nailing it. How he goes into the Batcave, because you wouldn't think of going under a river.
Yeah.
Things like that. I think whoever is really designing or coming up with those concepts really put a lot of thought into it compared to it. I think Nolan was, and this is what I love Nolan for, I think Nolan was more about the psychology of it.
Mm-hmm.
The psychology of Batman, the psychology of the Joker,
right?
The psychology of things. Nolan, without Nolan, we would not have been able to understand the backstory of Batman,
right?
Like how he got to become a ninja, how he learned his talent, how he trained to be, what led him to, because everything, even from Gotham to all the movies, they always are making a reference to how his parents died. Trust me, everyone knows how Batman's parents passed away. Yeah. We're good. We got it.
Yeah.
You don't got to show anymore.
Right.
And so, the same thing with Superman. A freaking planet blows up. Like, okay, got it. I think they got a new show coming out called Krypton.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. It's a prequel. Yeah.
On Krypton. Before, the explosion and stuff.
Right.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah. They, Man of Steel did a lot of that right, I think, making that whole world. I still have a problem with, they have all this technology. Why the hell couldn't they just leave the planet? Why did Jor-El stay? Why, once the council said, no, we don't believe you, I'd be like, all right, well, we're leaving. So see ya. It's just like, it's like they're the dumbest smart people, it seems. They just perish. They don't believe anything when the sun's like right at their back door. It's like, you guys you're gonna blow up with the sun here. Might want to leave the planet because they did say in Man of Steel they were explorers at one time, so I'm pretty sure they have some of those ships. It's like how about we just take a ride, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We can come back. But that's one of my gripes. But of course, the best way to clear that up to me is from the Superman animated series, where Brainiac misled the planet into believing it was going to be destroyed. And Jor-El was the only one who knew Brainiac was up to no good. Brainiac was their smart computer, and it had its own wants and desires. So Jor-El knew about that, and in a hurry, he had to get Clark off the planet. It wasn't really planned. It just happened. So kind of wish they would have done that with that. But, I mean, that's a tangent, of course. But, it's I think they are moving in the right direction, and yeah, Affleck's Batman's great, and I like all of it. I like Jeremy Irons' Alfred, and yeah, I'm really, I can't wait for Justice League. That's gonna be pretty cool. I think you're gonna see a lot of new.
I'm entertained by it.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna see it definitely.
Sure.
I was gonna say, I just realized that Goku and Superman have pretty much the same story.
Really?
Like, yeah, Goku. His father, Borak, was fighting against an evil force named Frieza, who destroyed their planet. His son was sent out to, he was sent out to invade another planet because Saiyans their race called Saiyans. They're sent out to, collect planets for Frieza's army, and ultimately so he can run the galaxy. That's all that part of the game.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, their storyline is very simple. He was sent to Earth as a child. Saiyans are very aggressive and blah, blah, blah. And he was found by an old martial arts instructor named Gohan. And he took him in and tried to raise him. He knows this kid was just more resilient and tougher. And he could lift boulders, and it just freaked him out. And then I think one of the days, the kid walked off and fell off a cliff or something. I gotta watch it again.
Really?
And he bumped his head, and he became super sweet.
Wow.
He became this nice kid, and now Goku was like the happy-go-lucky fighter. He still has the Saiyan blood in him, but he's
right.
Saiyans are like aggressive alpha males who want to. They get off to fighting. They're turned on by it.
Right.
He does too, but he's like he wants to help people and stuff like that. So it's interesting that I didn't really realize their storyline was so similar.
Right. Yeah.
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 So
that's crazy.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That is crazy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Super-powered aliens coming to Earth.
Right.
Yay.
I've recently checked out, I don't know if you've seen any of the Todd McFarlane digital drawing instructions he's doing on Facebook and so on. It's very inspiring. It's pretty cool. He uses this huge tablet. Well, I think it's actually a huge touchscreen computer, and he draws on it, and he does all these quick sketches, and he kind of shows you how to do it, if you want to try. And he's done some Venom, Batman. I think he did Adam West for, to honor Adam West, and Spider-Man, if I haven't said that already. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's very talented, and I love the touchscreen he's got. I really want to get one myself because it really makes it look easy what he's doing. He can easily discard any mistakes, and he can color it right away. It's pretty damn slick. But I don't know if you have anything you want people to check out. Could even be your own things too. So
just want to promote my product. I'm an MMA coach and practitioner, and I'm starting my own team called Animal House, and maybe a fight promotional thing.
Sweet.
I'm also looking into writing my own comic books. I'm working with an artist right now. We're working something out.
That's awesome.
So we'll see how that pans out. I don't want to jump the gun on anything.
Oh, sure.
But he's a big comic book fanatic, and he's got sketchbooks for days.
Oh, I bet.
and I got comic book storylines for days. So we're both coming together, and we like each other's approach to it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have we're talking about starting small.
Sure.
And if that's the case, I'm actually with my next musical project. I'm looking to present a comic book with it.
Oh, sweet.
As a form of advertisement.
That's cool.
So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start with 4 or 5 pages, something short and sweet, not a flyer per se, but a short comic book advertising what's going on with the character I'm portraying. My thing, it will be almost like going to Comic-Con. I'm coming out with something unique musically for myself.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Kind of think Kiss with a black guy. It'll be fun.
That's cool.
So it'll be fun. We'll see how it pans out.
Sure.
And going from there. But yeah, that's basically my 2 major things. Just promoting my fight team and promotion.
Sweet.
It's called Animal House 360, and my musical project, which the name is Juan Hooks, a.k.a. the Bear Zombie, and the band is called Hood Rock that I have with me.
Sweet.
So,
do you guys have like a YouTube page or any Facebook, anything like that people can check out?
All these things are fresh. Like
sure.
We're building it up. I haven't gotten into the social media aspect yet because we want to make sure that I have enough material.
Right, of course.
To present it with. So if anyone out there wants to get in touch with me, feel free to do so. My email address is mr, as in Mr., and the name is Juan, Juan, Hooks, HOOKS, @gmail.com. And if you're good at marketing, anything like that, internet presence, which isn't my best trait,
it's tough.
Not very
it's tough.
good at those things. Yeah, and you're able to help, I would definitely appreciate it. I'm very happy that you guys gave me an opportunity to talk about, comic books, movies, things of that nature, and not feel like I'm the big nerd in the room, the big kid in the room.
Yeah.
It's like being among your peers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, I know, yeah.
Everyone else like, what the hell? How do you know this useless information? And I'm like, it's not useless.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, yeah.
And you're like, clearly Batman versus Black Panther would be a great fight. And I'm like, what the hell? Stuff like that.
It would, yeah.
That's the type of stuff that would.
Someday.
I'd have to lean towards Black Panther because,
yeah.
He has the mineral that
Wakanda Vibranium. Vibranium.
Yep. Why? I don't know why couldn't I think of vibranium.
No, that's right.
I would have to lean towards Black Panther. His IQ is ridiculous. Plus, he had all the thoughts and memories of the previous Black Panthers downloaded in his brain.
That's cool.
And he's got more money than Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's worth $40 billion.
Yeah.
Black Panther's worth $500 billion.
Well, I bet you're excited about that movie.
I am geeked. I am super hyped about that. I think it's a great thing. Like, he's going to be a great character. I think people are going to be very impressed. If they execute this correctly, it's going to be a big deal.
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
Because just the whole concept of Wakanda alone, you've changed the game. Because Wakanda is supposed to be something stupid like 20, 30 years ahead of us. Their technology.
Yeah. Oh, man. It looks... He steps, it's like that. It's like a secret passage. He goes down and then he's in Wakanda. It's like, oh my God. Or he's in the, their habitat, whatever you call it, because it's like Wakanda's got like a city structure, right? And then the village or whatever is hidden beneath it or something like that. That's what I got from the trailer, but it looks pretty badass. It looks a huge world. So yeah, I bet that'll be pretty damn good. Better be.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
That's cool.
Alicia's Claw, I don't know if he's going to be based in this one. I know he was in the Avengers 2 movie.
Yep.
At Alicia's Claw.
Yeah, he'll be in it for sure.
And he's the one that Ultron was talking to with the twins.
Yep. Ripped his arm off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great actor too. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, the latest trailer is awesome. He's getting interrogated and he's like, I've been the only one who's seen the island or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't wait. There's going to be a lot of attention on that movie. That should be pretty damn good.
Pretty much, if there's a comic book movie coming out, I'm excited.
Oh, sure.
There's very, very rare when I'm just like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
I think all movies should be comic book movies, but that's my 2 cents.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
sci-fi
definitely
in some sense. But that's my personal like. Sci-fi, fantasy is probably my favorite genre of movie.
Right.
Action sci-fi, I guess you could say action sci-fi.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, well, they're making so much money now, so it's like might as well just have them, most of them be that way. But yeah, it's great times we live in. It really is, because you used to have to wait years for a superhero movie, and now you get like 3 or 4 of them a year. So it's pretty fantastic. Hopefully it stays that way.
It seems like these movies are taking too long to get ready. I'm like, come on, you can drop one this week, you can drop another one next week.
Yeah, right.
One a month.
Yeah. Everyone check us out on all social media, Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher Radio, fieldofgeeks.com. Also check out Steve's comic blog, stevescomicblog.com. Great source for any, comic book related material, reviews, so on. Thanks, Juan, for being on. Appreciate it. And come back anytime.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So with that said, we'll be back. Take care. See ya.